We're talking to Honorable Alaji S. Darboe. He's the Senior Administrative Secretary of the United Democratic Party, UDP. He's a minority or the minority leader in the National Assembly. Let's now come to UDP matters. The UDP has seen a series of resignations recently. What would you say has led to this?
Of course, I think that is known to everybody, even Peter, the one who's asking that question. Perhaps he wants to hear from the horse's mouth.
I want to hear Alaji S. Darboe's interpretation.
Well, it came immediately after what I call the more talk about the flag bearer selection. So one will attribute that resignations are based on the outcome of the flag bearer selection. Yes.
Okay. Take us through the process, because some challengers, even before the process was completed, started criticizing parts of the process. Take us through the UDP flag bearer selection process.
If you say criticizing, how?
That some of the committees that are set up to or that exist, to scrutinize candidates are packed with people who are openly in favor of the Secretary General and leader of the party.
Okay. Yeah, the beauty about the process is that's why I wanted to hear from you.
Yes.
There are two sides of complaint we've been hearing. As you said, somehow with the view that the guidelines are prepared in favor of the party leader to clear way for him to be selected. Or also somehow with the view that the selection guidelines that we provided are meant to target the party leader in a way that he may not be selected. Yeah, somehow also with that view. So in totality, I think there is balance. Where you have rules that all sides or both sides would complain this is in favor of the other side and this one is in favor of the other sides, then that means there is balance in that approach. Honestly, UDP is an institution. And for me, I try to do all my best to make sure I make UDP, or I contribute to UDP to make it the best among all the political parties in the Gambia. And that could not come without giving our institution or party that internal political test. And that's why we have been improving year by year.
Improving in terms?
In terms of flag bearer, let me say flag bearer selection. Before, it was Mr. Darboe who will come as the sole applicant, and of course he will be selected. Until 2016, then Mr. Darboe was in prison at that time. UDP opened the selection of the flag bearer selection to all interested members to apply. Because of time constraint at that time, we had to give a grace, the period of one week was given, the grace period of 1 week for them to apply. And at the end, 3 people applied. And that was...
Namely,
sometimes, I can say Adama Barrow, President Adama Barrow.
Okay.
And then Abdou Darboe and Mamadou Jaju, one Mamadou Jaju from Brikama.
Okay.
So this was presented to the Central Committee, where the Central Committee is responsible for consideration and approval of the applications. The Central Committee met over the applications and then concluded to or to shortlist 2 from the 3. Unanimously, they agreed. And that the shortlisted applicants were submitted to the selection committee. That's the next stage. If there's no consensus for them to leave for one, of course they resort to voting. And then there was voting. I can remember vividly, Adama Barrow, then the executive composition was not much as such. Adama got 26 votes, and then Abdul got 4 votes. Oh. So he emerged as the selected applicant to be our candidate. And that was the name we submitted to coalition when we were in the coalition building. So 2021, we continued with that. And again, from application to Central Committee. And Central Committee resolved to shortlisting. And Mr. Darboe emerged as the sole candidate that was shortlisted unanimously. Then 2025, we had to, we look at the approach and say, look, this come this time. In fact, before 2025 February selection for the presidency, the 2023 chairmanship and mayoral, we improve on that. Instead of directly to Central Committee, and then the Central Committee then takes decision, we employ what we call vetting. The vetting is on this one part. We have the interview and then the verification. The verification has to do with the grassroots consultation. It happened that all the councils where we contested, I think we contested in all, we had 1 applicant in all except 2 or 3. That's CRR North, CRR South, and then Brikama. So we started with this approach, that's the vetting. We interview the applicants and we do the consultations, the grassroots consultations, and the scores are given. You have to pass all the stages, the required percentage is there, then finally they are ranked according to their performance. Unfortunately, for all of them, it was not easy. It was easy for all of them, except for Brikama. In CRR, I think we have about CRR South, we have about 3 applicants, the other one also 3 applicants. So that was not very difficult to be able to resolve to. When the reports were given, the Central Committee resolved to shortlisting 1 applicant from the 3 based on performance. With Brikama, where we had 15 applicants, based on performance, 8 also performed very well. And then what could the committee do? The committee decided that now let's employ what we call stages of voting. First round, second round, third round, to do that screening. There was 4th round voting. Out of the 15, they shortlisted, okay, now let's have 8, the first 8 best, to be part of the first voting. And that was subjected to that. Then out of that, and then 4 also emerged to the next stage. Then there was the last stage, 2 emerged. And then the final voting was between the 2 best. And that is the stage where we had the selection. When there was no consensus at the Central Committee, 8 were shortlisted, and then voting took place. So this time round, that is where we improved on. Instead of Central Committee taking this on directly, when the rule provided that you must score 60% in all stages, that is the interview stage, and then the second one is the verification, and then the combination of the two, you have to score 70%.
Okay.
Whereas we have more than, or if all of them score that requirement, the 3 best still will be selected.
Okay.
And then if in any event that none of them scored those requirements, still the 3 best losers or those who underperform would be selected. And if there's only one applicant, that sole applicant's names will be submitted to the selection committee.
Okay.
Now, after all the process, we have the vetting and interview completed. It happened that 5 applicants score above the 60% requirement. Now, the verification, that's the grassroots consultation, only 1 applicant met that requirement. The rest did not meet. And then obviously, and then they did not perform very well in that. That affected the total altogether. That is the combination of the 2. That one also, only 1 met the requirement, 2 scored over 70%. But here is a scenario where the rule is silent on if there is only 1 applicant who met the whole requirements, that is having the 60% in the interview and verification, and then 70% in the combination of the 2. What would we do? To shortlist that 1 applicant, the rule is silence on that. So when the committee was preparing the report, we concluded that since the onus was around 3 applicants in these cases that we talk about, that let's consider, for principle of fair play, let's consider shortlisting the 3 best applicants. And we recommended that for shortlisting. This was taken to Central. Instead of Central Committee now decide directly, this time around we have designed mechanism to guide the Central Committee as how and what to decide. Instead of unilaterally deciding, like what happened in 2021, somebody was saying that I was not even interviewed. Nobody was interviewed. I heard one of the applicants saying that he was not interviewed. Nobody was interviewed. It was the Central Committee that decided directly, and then unanimously they all say that we agree on to so and so. Well, this I was saying, instead of Central Committee going straight to decide, let's design mechanism that should be guiding the Central Committee. And that's the beauty part of it. And that's what's resolved to consensus building from the 2, 3 that we are shortlisted. We engage them, dialogue. For 2 days, there was no breakthrough. I think, yeah, that one is also, we should commend ourselves for that as well. There was no breakthrough. They all insisted, no matter what, they want to test their popularity. If the selection committee decides anyhow, they are going to accept that, but the democracy must prevail. And that's why we resolved to election at the stage of the selection committee. Eventually, Mr. Darboe emerged the winner, and then the selected applicant, of course, our flag bearer for 2026.
Yeah, the process, the way you just explained it, sounds very transparent.
And democratic.
And democratic.
Yes, but again, as you said, some people said it was meant to favor Mr. Darboe for us to have an easy ride. Some were saying it's a trap against Mr. Darboe. Then if we have complaint from both sides, as referee, who is never fair, in football, referee is never fair. So if you are receiving that, I think that is balance.
For us, we don't blame the referees, Liverpool, we blame VAR.
That's that.
One of the aspirants recently also joined this long list of resignations, Darboe. These departures, how are they affecting party cohesion? and its strategy ahead of 2026? Because you would have had all these people in mind. Oh, Darboe, will contribute this, so and so will contribute that. Even regional chairs are beginning to hand in their resignations. You would have been planning with them in mind. Having them now all go, how will that alter the strategy heading into 2026?
Well, it's not new as far as UDP is concerned.
Oh, it's not new?
It's not new.
Oh.
This happened in the case of the former members who later joined president, because president was independent then, and then eventually forming their party, that is the NPP. Mm-hmm. There were top executive members, including the then national president, who resigned to their position.
Sure.
And when the national youth president, executive members were among the resignees in 2019 or 2018, precisely around that. And then regional executive members, I would say at that time, in West Coast, almost all the constituency executive members resigned their position in favor of the would-be common political party that happened to be NPP, mm-hmm. to join what they call the Barrow Fans Club or Barrow Youth Movement. Mm-hmm. And elsewhere in Cherewan, the chairperson was part of the camp, the late. And then in CRR also, the chairperson was removed shortly before that development, because maybe they had foreseen what he was planning to. And then CRR not also, the one that intended to vie for the position, was denied simply because of that. That is the CRR North, as well as CRR South. So it was not new. And down along the grassroots, a lot of members also, at that time there were no announcements as such. They did not even formally resign to their positions. We only realized that they have shifted their allegiance to what they call Barrow's camp. But it was not a party then. They said they are supporting the agenda of President Barrow. It's just now that resignations are coming. But if we are to count or to put in figures, we'll have recorded a high number of resignation cases in 2018, 2019. Just now that, okay.
So it's only the new thing now is perhaps because when someone resigns,
it's on media.
They send, exactly.
There is noise around it, yes. But it's never new. We face it. But again, as I said, well, if you happen to lose one from your party, it's a minus. We will not deny that fact. Any number that is removed from our side is a minus. But I will not say that that can weaken the party.
It cannot?
I said it's a minus.
Yes.
But I would not say that that can weaken the party. I see UDP as a revolutionary party. It's an established political party that is grounded in terms of structure. And that is from national to village. It's the only party in the Gambia we have this structure intact. I can tell you that.
The only party
in the Gambia that is structured, not the ruling NPP. They are copying from us. They know.
Well, they seem to be doing that very well because they now
have they are taking our structure
everywhere.
Well, regional bureaus, that's not where you can do politics all along. I think the grassroots structure.
That's where you're still stronger?
Yeah, That's where we are still stronger than any political party. And thank God, we are on top of that. We have the grip on our structures. That's the beauty. Yes, you can have one or two from each of the regions or constituencies. We respect them for that. And their performance or participation in the party, we recognize that. But we can equally look for replacement. The vacuum can be filled. We have men and women who can do that.
The elephant in the room amidst all this resignation is obviously Talib Ahmed Bensouda. Some would say once the poster boy of the United Democratic Party. He hasn't resigned from the party, but a lot of people would say yet, because most of the, or rather many among those who have resigned have cited him as the reason for their resignation, that they expected that he would be selected as the flag bearer of the party as, you know, things change in the UDP, and given the following he has in KM, you know, if not the key, one of the, you know, key local government areas. I know immediately after the flag bearer brouhaha, and he stepped down from his role as National Organizing Secretary and also withdrew his candidacy for the flag bearer position. My friend Lamin Mane was quoted in, you know, the media saying that efforts were underway to reconcile Talib with the party. How have those efforts progressed? Reconciliation with Talib Ahmed Bensouda.
Yeah, UDP, as I said, has open door policy, those inside and those outside. We are always engaging to make sure we solidify that base. Of course, when we smell this movement, the party is not resting, our elders are not resting. We are doing everything that we can to bring us together. We can see movements, but that will not stop us from doing what we can to make sure things are normalized. That process is on.
You want Talib to remain a UDP?
That is our wish. We want every UDP member to remain UDP.
No, some have already gone.
Whether they've gone or they are not gone, but for them to come back.
Okay, let's say the biggest fish in the pond is Talib. All right. What signals are you getting? Is he amenable to remaining in the party, or do you fear he will also go the way of Lamin J. Darboe, for instance?
I don't think I will try to comment on that in order not to derail what effort we are doing. We are only hoping that
the efforts will bear fruit.
The effort will bear fruit.
But there are efforts,
obviously,
to keep Talib.
Obviously, and we are very hopeful that he will listen.
You're very hopeful that he will listen?
Very hopeful. When UDP is in your blood.
You say that with a smile, which means
no, yes, I say with smile and with the hope that once UDP blood runs in you, wherever you go is UDP, and wherever you are is UDP. Even those in NPP, they are still called the UDP. So with that, we are anticipating, and seriously, that he will think otherwise.
What? I mean, you must make him an offer. What are you people probably telling him? That, yeah, Talib, just be patient. We can assure you that this is Mr. Darboe's, last chance. Come 2031, you will definitely be the flag bearer. Is this the kind of language maybe, those who are negotiating with him are saying?
Actually, negotiators will not put such on the table. But no negotiation can go without an offer.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Is that the offer?
I said, well, they will not put that on the table.
They wouldn't.
For negotiators, they will not put that on the table. But of course, they will try to find ways and means to convince you so that we speak one language. Yeah.
And a lot of people would say, well, the writing was always on the wall. Mayor Rohey Malick Lowe was in Banjul saying his own thing. Chairman Yankuba Darboe was in Brikama saying his own thing. The UDP should have, acted sooner on reconciliation than, allow things to fester, if you like, to the point now where, Talib saying he is no more national organizing secretary. He did give his reason, but people would say, if you're not leaving an institution and you are still there and the party leader is not questioning your loyalty, you don't come out and say, well, I believe that the flag bearer needs to have somebody they can trust. Was there any trust issues or issue between the flag bearer and Talib that you might know of?
I think the recent advance regarding his resignation as the organizing secretary is on the basis that he was an applicant to the position, and if it happened that he was not selected, it may not be advisable for him to continue to be the chairperson of the campaign team for the flag bearer. He has reasons to believe it may be seen or otherwise that he may not be doing his best for the particular. That is the reason to believe. But that could be right, that fine. If you were opposing somebody and for you to take that lead to organize events for him, you may not be in position to do so. So in order to save yourself and the party from that, for you to relinquish, I'm not saying that there is a kind of mistrust between the two. That could not be the position that I can see, that it was a mistrust between the two. And then Mr. Darboe, even though he was not happy, accepted his position on that. He would have loved to see that he continued to serve in that position. But of course, what is also advanced could be genuine, even though we may not like it that way. Yeah. But it not be, one will not conclude that that was a mistrust.
Honorable Darboe, I must thank you for your time. I'll just make this my final question. What is your message to young Gambians who are politically engaged but disillusioned with party politics?
Well, I think politics is a game, and then the whole purpose of it, you also want to contribute your quota to national development. And to do that, one has to be very sincere, honest, and proactive. You don't have to come with the sole objective of trying to get money or to enrich yourself. You must have your own vision. What could be my contribution as far as nation building is concerned? This is what should drive us all towards politics. If you have it otherwise, I would advise that you should have that clean and clear consent before you get into politics. The notion that some people believe, well, politics is meant for people who are useless, they don't have any interest in developing themselves. When we were coming, that was how they were branding us. No, it's not about that. If you don't participate in politics directly or indirectly, I will say you lose interest in your country, and then you have nowhere in the world where you can go and then try to participate. It is only here that you have the opportunity to participate, either directly or indirectly. All of you are participating. So you will not say that what you are doing is useless in terms of our political development. It's enriching our politics. So people should not see it that way. I may also say that I think people should have that degree of respect and tolerance in politics. We are in different political groups, but we have the same or similar objectives. Our desire is to develop our country. The way and manner and approach we want to do may differ, but objectives are all the same. So we should not look onto each other as enemies, but rather opponents who have different ideologies. I see no room in politics where people should be insulting each other. If I share different political view with you, I should be a subject of insult. I see no room for that. That is immaturity as far as politics is concerned. No mature politician will see your opponent as an enemy, not even an opponent, somebody whom you share different opinion with. You see that person as your enemy, your enemy, and you try to insult that person in a manner no sensible human being can do. That's very unfortunate. That is happening currently in this generation. It's rather unfortunate.
And most people attach such people with your party. And I remember...
It can be any party, but recent development in my party, yes, we can attest it's happening, but it's very unfortunate.
And what do you do to such people?
Yeah, that is not the norms of our party. Whoever is acting that manner and that way, that's not the norms of our party. We branded ourselves as a democratic party, and that's why we embrace democratic dispensation in our party. And if you are against that, you are against the norms and values of our party. Honestly, Peter, yeah. That's not UDP.
And that's the question. The people who set up the United Democratic Party might have had all these lofty values, but over time, others have come on board, and they are acting in a way and manner that is against your values.
Yeah.
So why don't you kick them out and declare it so that people know that, well, this is a party of principles. I mean, no insults. Peter Gomez came there insulted, claiming to be UDP, and he was kicked out.
Well, we are in a difficult situation.
You need
numbers. I can tell you, UDP is prepared to give ourselves the best as a political party, and also to give the Gambia the best we want. Very soon we'll see that unfolding. I will not preempt, but it's going to be business.
Okay.
And UDP will be very serious as far as upholding the principles and ideals of the party is concerned. It's not going to be what you may see or others will see as business as usual. I can tell you that. Now, against 2026 presidential election, we are prepared to give our best, to give ourselves the best of UDP. And from that, we can be able to give the Gambia the best of the Gambia.
Okay. Honorable Darboe, once again, thank you very much for your time.
It's a pleasure.
And that was Honorable Alhaji S. Darboe, Senior Administrative Secretary, United Democratic Party, Minority Leader in the National Assembly.
Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Axel jam si Wave.
Yo, Abla, yo lu tax doo dee dégg lu tax mënuloo jël moto nga andil ma xaalis. Hello?
Bësal mu fay.
What?
Bësal mu fine.
Oh, yes!
Wave Axina Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. At Wave. Bësal mu fine. Wave. Your money is yours.